everybody. Welcome. What's going on? Today is Friday. Fri-Yay. Woo! April 15th, 2022. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee today. Yay, coffee. It's a mocha. I put in less coffee, some chocolate. It's tasty. I got deer in my backyard. There's three of them. At least three. I can see three. And it's exciting. Oh, is that four? Nope, that's a tree. And it's exciting because I haven't had more than one just randomly walk through in a long time. But looks like they're coming through, scrounging the last bits of apples that dropped off the trees in the fall, and they look good. They look like they made it through winter pretty well. I don't see anybody too bony, so it's always nice to see the animals around. How was your Thursday? Did you check out yesterday's episode of Martial Arts Radio? What else did you do? Let me take the chance to say good morning to Liz and Stacy and Josh and Tommy and Andy and all the rest of you who are watching live, maybe later, maybe you're listening. Thanks for coming by. Andy says it's going to be a nice day to ride. Yeah, it would be. It's still, good morning, Mark. Still a little bit on the cold side for me. And of course, getting the bike out of the muddy road is not fun. Today's going to be a simple day for me. I have one client, one of these people who kind of rides the line between client and friend, and they said, "Hey, really need you to come fix the computers up." Sure, it's been a while. Okay, so I'll do that. And then it's going to be a nice day, so my plans involve as little time inside as possible. I have a little bit of work that I think I'm going to do. I'll bring my laptop with me, maybe stop off at a coffee shop for an hour, and then it's buying and planting plants and maybe going for a hike later. We will see. Good morning, Frank. Frank says, it's so good to be back at First Cup. I don't know if anyone could tell, but I was very nervous during that meeting last night. You seemed a little bit nervous, but I think that's only because, we threw you in a room with a bunch of other people that you didn't know. Good morning, Kelly. For those of you who don't know, we had an all hands meeting last night talking about what's going on and making sure people get to know each other. And that's tough, right? Of all the people in the room, there was only one person who knew everybody, and that's me. So everybody's going to get to know each other. We're going to meet monthly, and I have no doubt that some wonderful things are going to come of it. So, there's nothing wrong with being comfortable, but you can have growth, progress, whatever word you want to use there, without some manner of change. And that usually starts with some kind of discomfort. To the point where I think if you take a step back and you look at life in general, this isn't me just talking to Frank, this is me talking to all of you. Think about all the good things in your life. Think about when you started those good things, maybe training. How did you feel going to the first class? A little nervous? A little uncomfortable? Yeah, that's how it always goes. Discomfort means you're about to do something new and likely something that matters. It's a good thing. Embrace it. Good morning, Gad. Gad just got back from a stroll with Sunny Dog. That's awesome. Hello, Brian. Happy Friday to you. And Frank says, speaking of discomfort, today is tax day, and we've got some tax-related jokes for you later on. I admit it, I'm distracted. I took up the best picture I could. I opened the sliding glass door and I talked to them a little bit, and they just kind of looked at me. They were just far enough away that talking quietly didn't worry them. But they don't come too close. They get nervous. I had one years ago. They got pretty close, and it was a young one, probably a 2-year-old deer, and he wasn't scared of me. And he kept getting closer. And I was like, I got to stop doing this because I'm going to train him that people are safe. That's not really what I want. I'm sure some hunter somewhere would find it very very braggable that they brought down a deer, with a knife in their bare hands. And I really didn't want to give anybody the opportunity to do that. Coffee is good. Good morning, Jenny. All right. So I've talked all week. Let's have the big reveal. I mentioned that I did something for myself, something I'm quite happy about. Not that one. This one. I'll show you. Get loaded. There it is. For those of you listening, I bought a Jeep. I've always wanted a Jeep. So I bought a Jeep. Well, we got questions coming in here. I'll let you look at the Jeep and then I'll talk about it in a second. Josh says, let me ask y'all, I always wondered this. Do you prefer warm things to drink in the morning or cold? My mother always told me not to drink something cold in the morning. It's a Chinese medicine thing. But I have noticed warmer foods in the morning are less irritating to my stomach. Stacy says, Josh, it depends on how warm or cold it is out. And then he says, awesome Ghost. And that's what I've named it. That's Ghost. It's a white on white Jeep hardtop that I have been getting much more functional use from as the roads are still a disaster. I went over to, got some friends who live about 20 minutes away, and they're going away for a couple days. And they said, hey, can you come take care of the dog? Sure. So I went over just to meet the dog because they've got a new dog versus last time I was there. Because remember, everything we did was years ago at this point. And there were spots on the roads to get to them, which are all dirt. I think it was on pavement for half a mile between my house and theirs. It was just a nightmare. And I'm like, oh, this is why I have this. So it worked out pretty well. Tommy says, I've had a Jeep of one kind or another since the 80s. So Josh's question about warm versus cold drinks. I don't feel drawn to cold drinks in the morning. Now, I don't know if that's just habit, but if I'm not drinking coffee in the morning, I'm drinking tea. Now, of course, I do have my big glass of water, but that's room temperature. In the winter, that can feel a little bit cold, but I don't think I really notice it that much. Right. Yeah. Chinese medicine principles are interesting. I've learned a little bit from an acupuncturist I visit. Jenny says, Josh, I can't do cold. Cold things hurt and cramp my stomach. I can do room temperature water or a hot beverage. Tommy says the same thing for him until about 10. Stacy says, all this rain has even flooded local paved roads. I can only imagine the dirt roads yesterday. Yeah. I mean, there were puddles and bumps, and I'm driving along, and I didn't have to stop. I didn't really slow down that much, but plenty of other people in most vehicles are coming to a stop and like going over these little bumps, and I'm like, wee, kind of doing jumps over. It's a Jeep. It's fine. Coffee and chocolate and caffeine. Great way to start the day. I've talked about this before, but not recently because I haven't done it recently. But if you want a really easy way to kind of kick up your coffee, Hershey's cocoa powder, just throw a teaspoon in. I put a teaspoon in this whole thing. It doesn't take much, and it's pretty much fiber. You don't have to worry about the sweet. Like, I mean, if you sugar your coffee, it's going to be sweet, but it just tastes good to me. So there's that picture, and then I took a second picture. My reaction to being the Jeep, even still. I'm kind of pumped. Take care, Andy. Stacy says, I was guessing you'd gotten an outdoor hot tub. I've thought about it. I've actually really thought about it. And I still may. Oh, that one's creeping. Oh, they're getting a little closer. I think we've got a mom and a baby there. I've thought about putting a hot tub out there. Will require a little bit, and the reason I haven't pulled the trigger on is I don't know how much I would use it. I'd be getting a cheap one to start, and those are like $500 or $600 for the decent inflatable ones. And it's $50 to $75 a month in energy. I don't know that I'd use it enough. The only times I've really hung out in a hot tub has been like with people, like having a drink at the end of the day. Like that's really nice. I could see I could see myself using it, but the time of day I would want to use it, there are bugs. And I'd be sitting there and I'd be getting beat up by bugs. So for now, just thinking about it. Jenny says, this is a great photo. Post it on your social media accounts and ask folks to create captions. LOL. Gad says, you could fit a hot tub inside the Jeep. I probably could. And it might even be able to carry it. And Stacy says, oh, so nice in the winter, getting snowed on while feeling warm. Yeah, I get it. I've spent plenty of time in hot tubs, and they're nice. But there's no great spot in my backyard at this point. It's anyway. I'm not going to post on social media that I got a vehicle because inevitably people are going to give me a hard time. They just are. Somebody somewhere is going to give me a hard time. And the whole purpose of me getting this thing was to do something for me, something that was really, like, if you get down to it, unnecessary. I didn't need this thing. I wanted this thing. And I don't do that often. And so the idea of someone, maybe even someone that I like, someone that I look up to, someone that I respect, someone that I'm friends with, raining on my parade, I don't even want to open the door to that. So people can just discover it in real time. And if people have an issue with it, then I'll just tell them to shut up. Kelly says, we finally splurged and bought a hot tub, and I use it a lot due to muscle stiffness. It happens when you get older. It can. Look, so I'm not going to say that a hot tub doesn't help you. I'm not going to say that muscle stiffness doesn't occur. This probably doesn't surprise any of you, and I'm not picking on Kelly as I say this. I reject the idea that our bodies have to fail as we get older. There are certain processes in our body that change, right? As telomeres shorten, there are certain things that are programmed in for youth that do not happen as we get older. But the idea that you have to have your best days behind you and your body has to fail and you have to fall apart, I reject that. Here's a great example. When I was in New York with Dan Millman, he showed me a video of being on some parallel bars on a playground, swung his legs a few times and kicked up into a handstand and just held it. He's 74 years old. Oh, but Jeremy, he probably does that all the time. That's what I thought too. So I asked him, when was the last time he did that? 20 years. He hadn't done it since he was in his 50s. He remains active. He has faith in his body. I am in the best shape of my life. I'm turning 43. So it's about how you approach things and it's about your attitude. If you want to be in the best shape of your life, there is nothing stopping you. If someone tells you you can't because you're older, they're wrong. That's what society wants us to believe. That's what media wants us to believe, so they can sell us drugs and stuff. You can do it. I believe in you. Tommy says, I moved Pretty good for almost being 60 years old. Absolutely. And Tommy says, Jeeps are awesome. Screw the rest. I got your back. Thanks, man. All right. So that was the big reveal. And you all know me in different ways, right? Like some of you know me a little bit, some of you know me better. I would say the better you know me, the more you understand how big of a deal this is for me. All the voices, the voices that we have in our head telling us not to do things or to do things, right? Judging us. A lot of times it's our parents. All those voices in the back of my head saying, this is a terrible purchase. Why are you doing this? Why are you spending all this money on a used vehicle that you don't need, that Consumer Reports pretty much thinks is like the worst thing in the world? Because I wanted to, because I can. My personal finances changed a little bit. Some of you know why. We don't have to talk about it. They didn't change a lot. I bought a used Jeep, not a new Jeep. But when I drive it, I'm reminded I did this for me. This is mine for me, and it makes me happy. Didn't get rid of the other car. The other car is much more economical, and it'll probably last forever. It's a Toyota. All right. Frank has jokes for us. Let's look at the jokes. I'm going to turn that off. Stop that one. And we do this. And we do this. Oh, I should have done this first. This one. This one. And here we go. The jokes for Funday Friday. Taxes are due today, unless you filed an extension. If your taxes are not due today, you probably already do that. Okay. Whoever wins the Mega Millions jackpot will make history. They'll be the first billionaire to pay taxes. Why was the seafood restaurant being investigated by the IRS? They were suspected of being a shell company and some fishy business. I like that one. It's a two-parter. What's the definition of a good tax accountant? Someone who has a loophole named after him. Fun fact. One of my clients literally writes the book Taxes for Dummies. So if anybody out there wants truly the best tax accountant you can get, she is routinely hired by the IRS to teach them things. Yeah. The majority of her clients and revenue come from very, very, very large trusts and estates. And she is barely more expensive than a typical accountant for personal returns. I have known her for 20 years. She is amazing. Just reach out to me. Yeah, if you're about to not file, you should file an extension. You're welcome to reach out. I will connect you with the company. I do some IT and some marketing and some things for the organization to have for a long time. Wonderful, wonderful people. Why doesn't the IRS audit cows? Because the farmer milked them dry. Client, what's the difference between the short form and the long form? Accountant, if you use the short form, the IRS gets all your money. If you use the long form, I get all your money. There's some truth in there. Oh, the third one's back in the woods. Nope, third one's right there. I think they're going through. I don't even know if they're eating apples at this point. I think they're going through and they're just picking out stuff that's not quite grass. Ever wonder how Form 1040 got its name? For every $50 you earn, you get 10, they get 40. Where do homeless accountants live? In a tax shelter. Why didn't Sherlock Holmes pay a lot of taxes? Because he made brilliant deductions. Good stuff. Thank you, Frank. So fun fact. People get really bent out of shape about paying for good tax prep. This is something I've observed. Good tax prep saves you money. You get more back. Ideally, you have a conversation during the off season, not between January and May, you have a conversation with your tax preparer and say, okay, so what do I do better next year? And they should tell you. And if they can't tell you, you need a new one. Okay. Um, I will be honest, mine always gets me a refund because there's always a way. There are 80,000 pages in the US tax code. Wasn't put there for most of us, but we still have it available to us. Tommy says, if you haven't owned one before, other Wrangler owners will wave at you. I've noticed that. I have started to wave back. Reminds me of my motorcycle. Good morning, Nathan. Kelly says, oh, yes, I agree with you, Jeremy. I was just trying to be, quote, funny. My pain is actually due to my fibromyalgia. I knew that. And I that's why I said, like, I'm not picking on you because I don't understand because I haven't experienced this. And the 3 hip replacements and the fact that my hip is permanently damaged by the hip that was recalled. Yeah, I wasn't trying to pick on you, and I hope you didn't feel like I was picking on you. Um, yeah, if you felt attacked, I'm sorry. Um, Ray's giving me some support. Don't worry about others. Being angry for someone else's happiness is like holding onto a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at another. You are the one who ends up hurt. Time is fleeting. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Enjoy the now. Be happy for those who are doing something they enjoy. I agree. Ray says the 3-finger wave is known as the Jeep salute. I didn't know I had to use a certain number of fingers. There's only I'm familiar with the motorcycle with 2 fingers, and I'm familiar with the 1-finger wave, but I wasn't going to throw that at people. Deer are so funny. So today will be a simple day. I'm really trying to not work much on Fridays. I'm finding that I need more than 2 days. Tomorrow I'll be refereeing at a tournament pretty much all day. I'm having dinner with a friend tomorrow night. Might be having dinner with another friend on Sunday. So like trying to, get out and be social and hang out with people now that people want to hang out and be social. But I need time to not do. I need time to sit and relax. And I was in meetings yesterday from 9 to 9:30. It's a long time. 12 hours of work. I gotta decompress. So let me know if you're doing as we start to fade out here. What are you doing today, this weekend? Anything fun? Are you doing anything that's fun and cool? If it is, let me know. I wanna share it with everybody. All right. So I was telling someone this the other day, I think at the gym. Stacey says the flying fickle finger of fate, 1-fingered wave. All right. Does anyone know where the term fickle finger of fate comes from? I'll tell you, you'll probably stop using it in polite conversation. Fickle finger of fate refers to the ancient Roman prostate exam for men who were in the military. Yep. Prostate exams go back that far. Stacy says, no, educate me. You just got an education. Oh, they're taking off. They decided they wanted to move on. Stacey says, I'm so glad you are taking your time. It's an important message for all of us. I'm trying. I really am. Over the last probably month or so, I've just been doing less because I can't do as much as I was doing. Not sustainably. I can surge. I can have my days where I crank through a lot, but it's not my best work. I need to sustain myself emotionally. I'm good about the physical part, but I need time. I need space, and it's part of what our meeting was about last night. Making sure that other things are getting done, bringing more people into the team who can do more work. We've built something amazing, and just watching everyone last night and realizing that all of these people believe in the mission and those of you who watch this show, you must believe in the mission. I can't imagine that you're watching such a silly premised show and not believing about connecting, educating, entertaining martial artists. So thank you. Tommy says he's very familiar with that process, that medical process. Jenny's weekend will involve family time, training Saturday morning, Easter dinner with my kids Saturday, Easter dinner at my dad's Sunday, watching the new Spider-Man movie and the latest episode of Moon Knight at some point in there. I haven't checked out Moon Knight. I haven't really heard much either about it. Kelly says, you know what, Kelly? Anybody who knows you knows you're not a whiner. You're one of the hardest working people I know. And when I think about the number of martial arts classes you teach yourself, it's more than anybody else I know. Kelly's excited about teaching a teen girl self-defense class tomorrow and seeing family on Sunday. She says, sounds like you gained wisdom on vacation. I think I did. That retreat I went on, I think that was pretty beneficial for me. Frank says his sister and family are coming tomorrow. That's awesome. Enjoy. It's not a big deal for me, but the family, everybody like made other plans. All the siblings made plans with their significant others' families, and so mom said, "Okay, we'll just not do Easter this year." So, all right, I get another day to myself because she likes to make ham. I don't eat ham, and she always makes other stuff for me, but it's not the same. Tommy hasn't seen Moon Knight either. Gad says Moon Knight is awesome, quite true to the comics, which I love, at the same time giving a new twist. I'm on Hulu right now, and I'm probably going to plow through Letterkenny for like the fourth or fifth time because it's such a great show. Most of the time when I sit down to watch something, it doesn't have my full attention, and I think that's why I have a hard time starting new shows. On my Disney rotation, I did watch WandaVision, which was brilliantly done. It was incredibly creative. I loved the style in which they shot and presented the show. If you haven't seen WandaVision, I suspect you would love or hate it for that reason. I thought it was quite creative, and I appreciate creativity in television because most television just follows a pretty boring formula. Most of the time, it's either special effects or reality. And this kind of did both. Frank says, "What is Moon Knight?" It's a Marvel TV series on Disney Plus. Kelly says you should watch Hawkeye. It's so fun. I'm planning on it. I really don't like Jeremy Renner. I really don't. I feel like he's the lamest Avenger, like by so far. He's so bad. I feel like of all the Jeremys they could have cast to be Hawkeye, he's not a good choice. I wouldn't be a good choice, but I feel like I'd be a better choice for Hawkeye than him. I also feel like I'm a better actor than he is, and I don't know how to act. The other one, because it was on TV versus streaming, I don't think it got as much attention, but Agent Carter. When they kicked off Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that was a great show, absolutely great show. And Agent Carter, I thought, was absolutely wonderful. And what I like about the Marvel series is that because all the stuff is running, a lot of it's running on a parallel timeline, you have references and guest appearances, and I think that's a lot of fun. All right. I don't know if Frank's asking me this or all of us this. Do you like TV shows with some depth to them? I certainly do. But it depends on the mood I'm in. Lately, I've been in a mood where I can't handle much depth. I started watching Death on the Nile, and I love the people that are in that film. I think Gal Gadot is one of the most charismatic people on earth, and I could watch her, do just about anything. And I don't mean that in like a inappropriate way. I just mean like she is a very compelling actress and draws attention. And I got about a half hour in. And I was like, that was the night that I turned off the TV and planted seeds, which I got some more seeds I can plant today. So I'll get there. Maybe that's what I'll do tonight. Is finish watching that movie because I've wanted to see that film. Alrighty, I'm headed out. Have a great weekend. Thanks for all of your support. Those of you who were on the call last night, really appreciate all of you. Those of you who want to find a thing to contribute, just message me. We got to come up with some ideas. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome to be part of this team and help us move the ball forward. If you have 15 minutes a week and interest, we will find something for you. Okay. If you want to contribute in other ways, remember, money as well as non-money is always appreciated. You can do something like grab this mug. This is the Fri-Yay mug, available at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15 for 15% off. I put up a new thing yesterday. Shout out to Mark for being the first person to grab it. We sold a custom color dragon hoodie yesterday too. And so that was the first one. So we worked out the process. It went super quick. I already got it ordered yesterday. So super pumped on that. And we've also got the family page, whistlekick.com/family. I threw a test on there. Several people passed. I was impressed. That's got all the list of all the things that you could do to support, from the things that take money to the things that just take a little bit of time. Remember, if you haven't left reviews on Google, Apple Podcasts, if you use a different podcast platform, and a rating on Spotify and Facebook, right? I would really appreciate it. Those do help us quite a bit. If you've got questions or comments for the show, you can leave them on the Facebook page, facebook.com/firstcup with Jeremy. You could also email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com, if you don't do Facebook. We do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time on Facebook, on YouTube. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're on Twitter. Tuesday and Thursday, we're on Twitch. At some point, I'm going to ask everyone to watch on Twitch for a little while, because there are some check boxes we need to do to like take the next step in what we're able to do on Twitch. And so if you guys have a chance this weekend, can you just make a Twitch account, please? I think there's some certain standards that we're going to have to cross. So just letting you all know that ahead of time. A few more comments before I sign off. Talking about TV, Tommy says, great show today. Have a great weekend and holiday for some. Thank you. And Jenny says, wait, did Craig Wareham have anything to do with that custom hoodie sale? No. Wasn't even one of his students. Take care, Josh. Take care, Gad. Take care, all of you. I appreciate every one of you. This is the best way to start my day. Be well. See you Monday. Peace.